Hey guys, Greg with BTAD TV. By now we've come to realize that sitting all day is bad for us, but guess what? Standing all day can be just as bad. That's why electric standing desks have become so popular. While they've become popular, they're not perfect. And today we're going to be covering the top 9 problems with electric standing desks. Are you looking for information on electric standing desks? BTAD TV is your source for everything standing. Subscribe today so you don't miss out on any of our great content we've got coming out. Here at BTAD.com, we love standing desks. Not only do we sell them every day, we also use them. Before we get into our list, I wanted to let everybody know that the way that our problems are listed, they're not in an order of importance. How important each problem is will vary on the individual user. Now let's take a closer look at the top 9 problems for electric standing desks. The first problem to consider with electric standing desks is they can be expensive. Now this really shouldn't come as a surprise, considering the amount of technology found in an electric standing desk, especially when compared to a traditional sitting desk. Depending on the quality or the level of components, this can also have an impact on the overall cost. A few things to consider when looking at the price of an electric standing desk is the quality of the product, specifically looking at the brands and how long they've been manufacturing. Overall, we've seen that European brands have been manufacturing electric standing desks for longer and generally are more expensive and higher quality. In electric standing desks, you really do pay for what you get, so that is something to consider when looking at the price of a standing desk. When compared to a traditional sitting desk, standing desks can be loud. This really shouldn't come as much of a surprise, considering some desks can have upwards of 3 or more motors. On average, we found the decibel ratings to run between about 45 to 60 decibels, and for most offices, this won't be a noticeable sound. A few things to consider with the sound of your electric standing desk is the office or environment that you'll be using it in. For most offices with conversation that run around 60 decibels, you won't really notice the sound of an electric standing desk. For quieter environments, like maybe a library or your home office, this might be a more noticeable sound for you. Lastly, there are additional sounds that could also impact your desk overall, and those are things that could be low quality electronics that have buzzing sounds, or potentially the scraping or rubbing of the columns as the desk moves up and down. The potential for electronic failures in electric standing desks should really come as no surprise, considering how much we use technology today. Thinking about if your electric standing desk were to fail and the potential how it could leave you at awkward heights, and even worse if you have a dual or triple motor desk, how it can become crooked and unusable. A few things to consider with electronic failures on electric standing desks is if the benefits of an electric standing desk will outweigh the downsides. Premium brands have tested their desks for 10,000 or more cycles before failure. Also, look at the fact that single motor desks will eliminate the opportunity to leave you with an uneven desk should your desk fail. The potential to overload and burn out the motors on your electric standing desk is real, and to be honest, the weight capacities in the category can vary greatly. While most users will only require 150 to 200 pounds including the top, if you require more, you should be cautious here, specifically because most Chinese manufacturers do not offer overload protection. A few things to consider if you're worried about overloading your electric standing desk is, first, if you're a user that needs 150 to 200 pound capacity for your desk, you'll want to consider something with overload protection. If you're a power user who needs 300 or more pounds, we recommend looking at the OEM for their specific information on their capacities, as this can greatly reduce the lifetime of your desk. And lastly, if you're going to be putting a lot of weight on your desk, it's important to note that this can impact the overall speed. Electric standing desks can come with a limited adjustment range, and to get the proper fit for your body, it's important that you consider what is required to make you comfortable. When we look at a traditional sitting desk, most will generally be between the 29 and 30-inch mark, which is too tall for most shorter individuals. A few things to consider when looking at the adjustment range of your new electric standing desk is that you get the proper sitting and standing heights. For shorter users, sometimes getting that lower height can be difficult, considering the fact that your existing chair won't go low enough. And for those users, we would recommend considering adding a footrest or potentially a new chair that does go low enough. Also, if a desk doesn't go potentially low enough for a shorter user, the opportunity to use a keyboard tray to drop the keyboard and mousing height below the surface is an option. Now, for taller individuals at standing height, considering users like 6'6" and above, your desk must be at least 48 inches tall to work comfortably. And so for the fix for them, the only option is really to look at a desk that goes to the proper standing height. Showing off the capabilities of your new electric standing desk to your coworkers is one of the most common things we see, and unfortunately, this can cause the potential for overheating in your desk. Most standing desks will come with a duty cycle of 2 minutes on and 18 minutes rest, which means you can't use the desk for more than 2 minutes continuously without it automatically shutting down to protect its electronics. For most standing desk users, overheating shouldn't be a problem, as there is generally a long period between a sitting and standing or vice versa period of time during your workday. The requirement of electricity for your electric standing desk should really come as no surprise, but the potential downside here is you really need to consider where you'll be using it and if there's available power for use. A few things to consider for those that are finding that it's hard to get electricity to their electric standing desk is there are battery packs or power packs that can be used with your electric standing desk. Through our testing, we found these aren't very efficient systems and they don't allow for a lot of up and down movements before they need to be charged. The alternative also exists to use a crank or manual adjustable table if electricity is not an option. A continuation of the previous problem is that the loss of power to an electric standing desk can cause the required reset. If your desk is only going down slowly and not moving up, this is the likely cause. We would recommend plugging your electric standing desk into a constant power source to avoid these problems. A few things to consider with desk resets is that this is really a safety function built into the electric standing desk. Standing desks work off minimum and maximum ranges, and in order to prevent an overextension of the gear, the desk must find the bottom first before it can resume normal operation. The final problem with electric standing desks is they do require assembly. Now, the amount of time required for the average user can be anywhere from 30 to 120 minutes, depending on your skill level. A few things to consider when assembling your next standing desk is that they're heavy, and a lot of times they can require the help from an extra hand. Also, depending on the brand, you might have the opportunity to review things like video tutorials on assembly and even their written instructions. We highly recommend going over these before you receive your desk to make the process much easier. And as always, you want to definitely go through and follow the instructions to a T to ensure that your desk is set up properly. After highlighting the top 9 problems with electric standing desks, you may have found they're not the right fit for you. However, the upsides to electric standing desks have made them one of the most popular options today. I personally love the ability to quickly move from sitting to standing with the push of a button while bringing all the items with me on my desk. Doing the proper research will ensure that you have a good experience when buying your next electric standing desk. I dropped a link down in the description for our full post on the top 9 problems if you'd like to read that in greater detail. And if you like this video, please help us out and hit that like button. And also don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more information on electric standing desks. Thanks for watching.